YouTube. This is Mist. And today I'm trying out my new Samsung Galaxy S6 Plus Edge, the live stream broadcast, I don't know what you want to call it, application, I suppose, on the phone. Um, Oof, look at this messed up hair. But minus the fact that I'm trying to test this thing out, I'm also interested in showing you guys something I've been making for the past, I don't know, year or so. It's a board game. And if you guys have any interest in board games, which hopefully will be my main target audience in the near future, I wanted to show you guys what that game looks like, how it plays, and let me know if you're interested in it. And maybe get a Kickstarter going. If you're somebody who can, a designer or somebody involved in production or knows how to get these things done, that'd be great. I'm pretty much more so just a designer. So here I'll go ahead and turn the camera over and you guys can check it out. I'll go ahead and go in complete detail for how the game. Here we go. Alright, so as you can see, this is the game. Yeah, it's pretty big. I'm considering on making it smaller. Most of the pictures are copyrighted. These are just kind of copy-pasted from the internet style pictures. The formats are my own, and the text and all that as well. The game is a post-apocalyptical game called Biohazard. Basically, you run around the board trying to complete missions and obtain serum samples and so on, because there's basically a big toxic virus that's unleashed and it's destroying the whole world, and you need to collect all these biosamples and serums and whatnot, and when you do so, you will then get to the helicopter pad in the middle here and save the world and find the cure. Now, everybody has different abilities and whatnot, and I'll go through all that in a second. I'm just going to go ahead and show you the board setup. Basically, you just place these pieces in a random order. You roll dice to determine that order, and they fit pretty simply on here. You just kind of, it's either this way or this way, right? After you place those, there's only certain areas in which doors will be located to enter the buildings. And right now I don't have any specific door pieces. I guess I could put some cardboard pieces in here, but let me just get all these babies here. And you place the doors in the door spots. Now there's two here on either side. You have to just roll a die. Maybe somebody can find out a better system, but as for now, that's how it's gonna be. There we go. So there, that's part of the board. The next part of setup is these little terrain pieces that I made from scratch. And people place them in turn order on the board in random locations. The rules state that you can't place them like too close to a building or too close to a player space, so people can't completely surround a player start space so they can't get out. But it's to give the game variety, and so every game is different. Picture a game like Betrayal on the House on the Hill. How it's a tile laying game, and you can place all the pieces in different space is always different. So there we go. And then, of course, all the characters start on a starting space. There's 8 of them around the board, but currently I only have 6 players for the game. I'll just go ahead and put them down wherever. Okay. So that's what the main setup looks like. I have an extra house. Of course, the houses are from Warhammer Epic, so something will need to be done. The game's not a zombie game. It's post-apocalyptical, so these little, I guess, zombie-esque figurines are kind of my little abominations. There we go. And they come out when you search Rebel or screw up a mission or whatever. I've got a timer here. It's from another game. But basically, you have time missions in the game. Each person will receive a character. These are the main characters in the game. And they'll have stats and a specific ability, as well as some little bio examples. Here we go. So for instance, on your turn, you can do several different actions. So you get 2, maybe 3 actions, and one of the actions might be to move, search, take a sewer space and go from one space to another, enter a building. You can search these little areas here for for supplies. I use these as little markers, as little cute mini die, but you don't have to. Once you pick your character, you get a certain amount of life, little life tokens here, whatever. Everybody gets a character. Yeah, and everybody gets a secret class for their character. So not only is she a trapper, but she also is a biochemical terrorist. And so while the main objective of the game is to go in and search the search stack and get these biosamples here, and get to the helicopter pad, you can also win the game with a secondary mission objective. There we go. And this one says, instead of collecting, what was it? 6 serum, 3 biosamples, she can collect 1 serum, 5 biological samples, reveal this card when she places an action on the sewer space, and she wins the game, basically. I don't know, dumping the biological samples into the sewer and creating more plague. The alliance leader. So sometimes in the game you'll have a mission. This guy, if you complete a mission with another player 3 times, and all the buildings have not exploded, he'll win with his person who he allied with the most. Basically, if you perform an action in a building and you have these items, you can flip this card over and be like, okay, I don't know, destroyed the building, so I win, whatever it is. There's tons of different ones, though. This person here, in the stacks, in the search deck, and in the rewards deck here, you can find this patient 0, right? And if you find it without somebody else finding it and using it, you can get to the helicopter pad and win the game. There's not very many of them, though. So anyway, moving on. The game starts very simple. You have your actions. You can move, in any direction you want, and you can move up to 4 or 5 spaces, whatever it is. And you can then perform an action. You might want to perform an action on this thing, which you go, okay, I want to search this. So you'll pick up a card, and you get your serum, and all cards are face down. And you can try to win the game that way. There's tons of different things that can happen. You can get just random actions. Whenever you succeed in helping another player win a mission, you gain a health, more serums, health packs, etc., etc. If you die, you can become a mutant or whatever. I'll explain that in more detail later, though. But the main interesting thing about this game is the fact that there are time missions. So what will happen is once you enter a building, okay, so you go, have your character go here next to a building space and you perform an action, you will then enter the building, right? But when you're in this building, you will then draw a mission card, this one here. And this one says how long it's going to take, which is thought out. So you see the timer here, that means it would be this one here. And then you would see where it starts and where it ends and what building. So okay, say, okay, it's the presentation room, and you need to get to the meeting room, and it's in the large building. Well, here's the large building. You would then be in the presentation room here, and you would need to get to the meeting room, which is here. Okay, so what can you do? Well, generally in the game, here's your die. You get one of your directional die, one of your movement die. Every character has different abilities. Some let you have more dice. Some of the actions or cards let you have more dice. But if it's just basic like this, these are what you get. So you can get a wild, an up, a left, you trip, go down, right? And you first will roll the die, see where you start. Okay, this is a 2, so you'll start in either 2 space. Okay, so you will put your guy maybe here. Great. And these are the doors. So yes, I need somebody to design these, make them look pretty. And of course the missions have some kind of importance to it, but I'll go ahead and show you how it works. This is the most interesting thing. So take my dice, and you start rolling. Up 2. Well, we can't do that, so maybe you just want to roll this guy, right? Wild 2. 1, 2. Roll again. left 2, we don't want that one, down, trip, up, left, up, down, wild, great, so 1, 2, of course it'd be a little, up 3, 1, 2, 3, down 2, up 2, maybe just go 1 then, right 1, oh, we're almost there, last couple seconds here, trip 2, can I get a wild? Oh, no, I couldn't do it. So if I would have ended up in here, then I would have passed. And when you pass, there's 1 and a 2. So 1 means 1 player mission, and 2 means 2. You can choose to have somebody go in with you as long as there's 3 spaces from you in the building. If that happens, basically you just do this twice, once for each player, and if either one succeeds, then it counts as a success for both players. However, this was just me doing it by myself, so I would fail the mission, and that means I get trapped in the building, which means I am stuck in this building. I don't lose a turn, I just have to do another mission in the same building on the following turn. I'm not a fan of losing turns. So that is kind of how it works. If I would have succeeded, I would have gotten some rewards. The rewards pile is much better than the search pile. So I guess when you gain a movement and +1 to stat rolls for an entire turn. So it's much better than sometimes you'll get garbage. You can literally get like junk in here, or you can get an abomination that pops out. Abominations are very simple. If an abomination, if you're searching rebel here, or abomination pops out of a building, basically the player who had the abomination spawn, if they were, let's say they were here and they search this stack here, they search and they get the abomination card, and they would then have to place an abomination as close to the player next to the rebel. In either of these locations would work. And at the end of the turn, they take 1 damage every time an abomination is standing next to them. And the abominations only activate at the end of turn based on whether or not you roll I think it's a 2 or a 3. So you roll the die, it doesn't act, or no, sorry. Yes, 2 or a 3, that's right. So if you roll a 1, it doesn't activate, and if you roll a 2, it does. And it basically goes to the closest player via how far they are away in spaces, and diagonal is it counts towards. Anyway, so that's the basic idea of the game. There's tons of different classes, and there's 6 different character types, and they all have different objectives, as well as their attributes. Sometimes it'll ask you to roll a strength stat, and you got to roll a die. And if you roll high enough, you'll succeed that. Some do better than others. And you can trade cards, and the basic idea of those taking turns kind of games. So that is my current game I've been making. It's a 12-minute video, just the length, and it's my, there we go. So anyway, that's Biohazard. That's my new game. I'm debating on Kickstartering. I don't know. I'm going to need a couple more people to help back me up with this thing. But if it seems interesting to you, and you are in any way creative or know the process in which to go about kickstartering, wow, a game, then, hit me up, and we can get something going. Thank you. I appreciate the time you took to check the video out. Go ahead and leave any important comments down below. If you think there's anything I can do to fix the game, other than obviously the lack of creative design. Yeah, I mean, it's basically just me messing around. I know that a lot of things need to be vamped up, and yeah, some of the pictures are copyrighted, so they're not going to be in the actual game. I need an artist. But as far as gameplay mechanics, or if you have any other questions about the game that I haven't explained, feel free to let me know. I'll probably even put a PDF version of the rules in the comments. And if I get enough support for this, I'll probably start a Kickstarter for it. Or if I get enough people that are interested in helping me create this board game, that'd be great. Or if you have an idea for another board game, I'm totally down to listen. Thank you very much once again, guys, and you have a great day or night.